There's no debating that Novak Djokovic is one of the greatest tennis players we've ever seen. Despite the accolades he's enjoyed on the tennis court, the Serb superstar has always been chased around by controversies. In this video, we'll be taking a look at how a recent announcement by Djokovic has sparked another controversy in the media. First things first, what was the shock announcement? With all the recent hype around the fact that Novak Djokovic has refused to get vaccinated against COVID, tennis action has become a little hard to come by for the 9-time Australian Open champion. To everyone's surprise and the delight of many, Novak Djokovic announced last week that he will be taking part in the doubles event at the Tel Aviv Open. Before this, Novak had only won one doubles title, the 2010 Aegon Championships, also known as the Queen's Club Championships. In 2010, Novak paired up with the Israeli old-timer Jonathan Erlich in his winning run at the Queen Club doubles event, and the Serb is pairing up with Erlich again to take part in the 2022 Tel Aviv Open. Next, why the Joker's desperate for some tennis action? In the last couple of years, COVID-19 has caused a lot of disruption in almost everything, and Novak's career wasn't an exception. Controversy broke out when Novak expressed his reluctance to get vaccinated against COVID-19. As more and more countries now require every entering person to be vaccinated against COVID-19, this limited the number of games that Novak has been getting in recent times. The lack of action caused Novak to miss out on valuable ATP ranking points, which means that he now sits at number 7 in the overall ATP rankings. Another blow to his rankings was the fact that the ATP Tour decided to strip the Wimbledon Grand Slam of the ability to award ATP ranking points. This meant that despite winning the men's singles event at Wimbledon, Djokovic didn't gain any ranking points. Up next, controversy at the 2022 Australian Open. Having won the tournament in each of the last 3 editions, Novak was set to return to the court at the 2022 Australian Open in January. However, the government of Victoria required every player to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Djokovic was among the few players and members of the staff who were granted an exemption by Victoria's Health Department and Tennis Australia. Later, it was revealed that the exemption had been granted on the grounds that he'd recently tested positive for COVID-19. Djokovic traveled to Australia on the 5th of January 2022. However, his earlier exemption was later deemed to be invalid and he had to leave the country. The famous Melbourne hardcourts have basically been like a stronghold for the Serb throughout his career, in which he's won the men's singles event a record 9 times. So missing out on the event was a big blow for him. Moving on to the aftermath of the events at the Australian Open. Events that transpired at this year's Australian Open brought a lot of unwanted attention to the star tennis player. Novak mentioned that he was extremely disappointed with the decision given against him. Speaking to the BBC in an interview, Djokovic mentioned that he was ready to sacrifice career achievements and records by staying true to his beliefs. He mentioned that it's his basic right to choose not to get the COVID-19 vaccine. In another interview, he accepted that the events in Australia took a major toll on his mental health. He mentioned that he has never experienced the amount of pressure he felt throughout the court battle and his deportation from Australia. Next, Djokovic misses out on more tournaments. Similar to Australia, Canada and the United States also had travel restrictions related to the COVID-19 vaccine. His unvaccinated status meant that he wasn't able to take part in this year's US Open either. The government of the USA did not allow unvaccinated people to enter the country, and as a result, Djokovic pulled out of the tournament on the 25th of August. The restrictions also meant that he could not take part in the ATP 1000 tournaments in Cincinnati and Montreal in the lead-up to the US Open. All of this meant that the Serbian tennis star would miss out on important ranking points. So at this point, he basically won't say no to any sort of tennis action that he can get. Continuing to the 2022 Tel Aviv Open. The Tel Aviv Open is back on the ATP calendar again after a break of 26 years. The tournament last took place in 1996, but is back on the calendar again after the Chinese swing was cancelled. Djokovic's old-time doubles partner from Israel, Jonathan Erlich, had already announced his retirement from the sport after this year's event in Tel Aviv. Erlich, who is already 45 years old, invited the 21-time Grand Slam winner to the tournament. Djokovic wholeheartedly agreed to take part in the Israeli star's Last Dance tournament. Djokovic later shared his excitement to take part in the event in a video message. Speaking to Erlich, he spoke about how the Serb's best doubles memory came from back when he won the Queen's Club event while playing with the Israeli. Paying tribute to Erlich, Djokovic had this to say: "You've always been very friendly towards me and towards my team. Everybody loves you and everybody will miss you on the tour. I look forward to seeing you in Tel Aviv in your last dance. Lastly, what's our take on the whole matter? Throughout his career, Novak has never been one to pay too much attention to what people are thinking about him. Even with the controversy related to his unvaccinated status against COVID-19, Djokovic has proved that he's ready to stick to his views and principles despite any costs that they might bring. But with this decision, we think it's hardly related to what he thinks about the political situation and background of the country. Novak had not played any tennis since July when he beat Nick Kyrgios in the final of Wimbledon. With the lack of tennis action that the Serb has seen in recent times, it's hard to imagine him letting go of any chance to get some competitive minutes under his belt. And of course, he wasn't going to say no to taking part in Jonathan Erlich's farewell event, who had been a longtime friend and former doubles partner of the Serbian superstar. Let's see how it goes for the Serbian in Tel Aviv. And now let's take a look at some other news. Before we leave, let's take a look at some other related tennis news. First up, Djokovic's decision has rekindled an old controversy. Well, as with many other events that are held in Israel, Djokovic's announcement caused a lot of backlash from various sides. During their ongoing conflict with the Palestinian territory, a lot of people believe that Novak's decision to take part is a bad look for him. There have been a lot of negative comments on the matter all over social media, with many users coming out to criticize the Serb's decision. On Twitter, we've seen different tweets calling for Novak to cancel his plans to take part in the event. The tweets are often accompanied by trends like #boycott Tel Aviv apartheid and #apartheid Israel. While on the other side, there have also been some parties that have defended Djokovic's decision to go to the event in Israel, with people calling for sports to be separated from political controversies. Next up, Rafael Nadal makes a shocking revelation on having arguments with Roger Federer. At the Laver Cup, we all witnessed the love and camaraderie that the legendary duo Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer enjoy. The shot where we can see Rafa and Roger sitting together on a bench, bawling their eyes out, will remain embedded in our hearts and eyes forever. However, Nadal has revealed that the two have had their fair share of arguments. Nadal also mentioned that they've never let their arguments reach the court. Rafa and Roger have had a rivalry and friendship like we've not seen anywhere else in the sporting world. In an 18-year-long rivalry, they faced each other 40 times. The two shared a remarkable bond off the field as well, a testament to which is the fact that Nadal knew about Roger's decision to retire 10 days before he announced it. And despite battling with his own injury concerns, Rafa came to take part in the Laver Cup with Federer. Finally, Serena Williams reveals why she had to stop. Serena Williams, for the first time in 2 decades, spent her birthday with her family without worrying about her professional duties. After recently ending her long journey in tennis that saw her winning 23 major singles titles right before her 41st birthday, Williams is starting a new part of her life. Speaking recently, Serena mentioned that she had to stop her tennis duties as she was constantly missing out on spending time with her daughter. She said that after becoming a mom, it had become quite difficult for her to compete. That's it for today, guys. We'd love to hear what you have to say. How do you feel about Novak's decision to play in the Tel Aviv Open? Let us know in the comments section. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for all the latest news from the tennis world. We'll see you in the next video.